good, write-ups in the Benton County News today.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet.
Yep. So that was well done. Two things in there, really. Yep. And you thought this could be wrapped up in under 45 minutes?
This thing? I hope
This
so.
should be a quick one.
I was thinking 15.
That's what I was hoping too.
I might be going for a record here, we'll see.
Yeah, I have just 2 questions, other than that.
I was hoping it would take us longer to try to set up another meeting than.
I think it's laid out pretty well.
Will we set up like a pre-meeting, a special meeting prior to next actual council, or like that hour prior? Is that what you're thinking?
No, I'm thinking a standalone for the audit presentation like we did last year.
Okay.
Because that's a long one.
Sure.
And audit, garbage contract RFP, 2025 improvement hearing, liquor, tobacco licenses, we're gonna be here till 10 o'clock. If we try to pack all that in.
All in one?
And that's just not good for everyone, you know,
Sure.
it just gets too long.
Okay. Just regarding tobacco license, just curious, do we need to approve them?
Yes, you're required, you are the licensing authority.
No, like, do we need to say yes? Like, if someone already has one and they're doing the renewal, do we have to say yes, or can we say no?
You can say no.
Just curious,
Yep.
understand
Right.
how things work.
Yep. The
Do you have
council
a reason,
has
or
a
can
lot
you
of,
just say no?
the council has a lot of discretion when it comes to tobacco, alcohol, and gambling. Just historically. It is 5 o'clock if you wanna move. I'm not sure if Jeff is coming. He didn't tell me no, so.
Okay.
Okay, well, May 14th, 2024, 5 o'clock, we'll call this meeting to order. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Review and approve garbage request for proposals. We've all read the statement.
Yep, just a quick question. Sarah, this might be for you to help. Is this only asking for a single contract for residential and commercial, or are we also seeking opportunities for residential only and commercial only?
I think it's all cited out in here, either or, right?
Yep.
And I may have missed that,
So, there is 2 price worksheets. So one says commercial and residential, and then the second worksheet says residential only.
Okay,
Yep,
So they should come back with actually 2 bids?
correct. They should fill out both price worksheets.
Correct, yes.
Yep.
okay.
It's really.
Would we have to then do something separate, as a separate RFP for commercial only, or would that be all included in this? It'd be, someone would submit a contract, residential and commercial. If that company chose to, just residential and just commercial?
No. The council directed me to do a residential and commercial, and then just a residential only. Because the second option, per the direction of the council that I had in my notes, was if we just did a residential only, we would leave commercial more choices. They could pick a couple different providers.
So it wouldn't be an
Yep.
RFP, they would just call
Yep.
up whoever they wanted and
Yep.
work it out with them?
Yep,
Okay.
the only thing we could do if we choose to go that route is we could put some permit requirements or some restrictions within the ordinance that
Sure.
they can only come at certain times, they have to come and register with us, those kind of
Okay,
things.
nope, good.
That's what the attorney would advise we would
Right.
do if we chose that option.
And then the only other thing, and I'm sure it's because of just the way it's meant to be worded, it talks in here about offering residents a solid waste bag or tag system and container options. I mean, I don't think most do bags, I don't think Cloud does, but is that I mean, we wouldn't want
So-
bags.
So the reason we just kept that in there is because, when we were discussing it with the attorney, one of the items, and this was on my list to bring up, is the contract requires exclusive, service, it's a one hauler. We have, in our existing situation, we have a number of people that are not subscribing to garbage service. The attorney said we cannot, technically we can't allow that to happen, so if the provider would want to enforce that, they could enforce that.
Oh.
We have some situations where some elderly are sharing like one service. We have some people that are using their, commercial maybe or another service to do their residential garbage. The attorney, I put in some language, he said I couldn't do that, it had to be exclusive and written that certain way. The provider could certainly at their discretion allow for some of that to continue, but as an option, the attorney said we could look at maybe an every other week option, or like a bag or tag to see if anybody would do that as a more cost effective. What we found is the industry usually is pretty, they wanna see the carts, they wanna see that regular service. And in all fairness, it's really hard to sometimes manage those situations where somebody is not on the same schedule as everyone else. That's hard for the haulers to manage and so forth.
Okay.
So that's why it's there. I don't even know if we will get it back or not. That's really gonna be up to the bids.
Okay. Those are my only questions about what's before us.
Well, our biggest thing is with the commercial, that was our biggest complaints there. I don't know if it was just cost or what it was all, that seemed to be the.
Yeah, I would agree with you. The complaints we had were on the
Yeah.
commercial side.
Yeah.
Very, positive from the residential side.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like to see all one hauler to make it simplified
Yeah.
and whatever, but.
Right.
If that is the biggest problem, let the others decide who you want to pick up your commercial.
Well, and, I see that we have what did it say, 152 businesses? Yeah, 152 businesses. It's hard to say, is every one of them unhappy with the pricing, or is it the larger ones that are maybe larger containers or more pickups? So we have to keep that in mind as well. If we said, we'll let them figure out commercial on their own, they may find that they may want to just keep what they have, but now it will be even a higher price because there's no contract. Or they may not find a better deal. So we got to keep that in mind as well when, that may take them or us reaching out and understanding from more than maybe the couple emails we've received, to understand how the business owners really feel. Because 152 businesses, hard to say that every one of them feels that it's outrageous. I pay hours at Falcon, it's not bad.
So I do wanna clarify with that too, is, you may see some fluctuation on what's considered residential or what's a business, like a commercial. So when we ran these numbers, we based it off of our water sewer billing accounts. So like the single family homes, like your multifamily units typically have like a commercial dumpster. So that could vary. And then the other thing I wanna mention is, right now, I believe our trailer parks have individual cans, but they're all under one like bill, and the owner of the park pays for that. Depending on the situation, what's gonna work best for some of those areas, you could see some fluctuations. I think the cans work well, when they set them up, because I think it just keeps the park cleaner, but those are some of those situations that could change. I mean,
Okay.
we were just running it based off of our latest counts, the closest we could get it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good, thank you for that clarification.
Any other discussion? Looking for a motion to approve the garbage request for proposals.
I'll make a motion to approve the garbage request for proposals as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
You had a question earlier. No?
We're gonna keep going, Gary.
Pardon me?
We're gonna keep going.
Oh, Yeah.
Robert's Rules of Order. Set up special meeting for city audit presentation.
Yeah, so, what I wanted to do with this item, we have, a number of items scheduled for our June 4th meeting. It's just too much to put on that meeting agenda, so I'd like to move the audit presentation off to a separate, meeting. I have 2 dates proposed. It's really hard to schedule with our staff and, the auditors, and my schedule. But I am looking at if Friday, June 7th, either in the morning or at like noon, cause I know we do have sometimes some council members that can shuffle over, with their other employment. Otherwise, like June 18th, which would be the Tuesday of Fun Days, if you wanted to do it that evening. No? We did it at like a noon meeting last year. I thought it was during the day.
That worked okay?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was during fun days, wasn't it?
I don't
Right.
remember what date it was, but I know it was during the day. And we will video this as well, and then the report is posted on our website, and, you know, it's all available. You know, it just takes some time to get through that. It's a lot of information to digest. It's a good one to pull off so that we can have some good discussion, you know, on what's going on, with the finances of the city.
Either date works for me.
And we were thinking it'd be like a noon
I
on
think
the
June
Yeah,
7th would be
Friday,
a little better.
Friday, that, like at noon?
Friday the 7th.
Well, and I thought if somebody wanted to shuffle over, like, you know, over lunch, or if they get off, you know, early, I just was trying to find a date that I would plan for probably 45 minutes. I think it usually is about 20-30 minute presentation and questions. But then I think we could remove that item so that we can spend more focus on those other big agenda items on the 4th.
Sure.
And that, the auditor's fine, that'll work with our reporting and stuff as well. I'll check with, Mr. Brosh too, when we're,
So June 7th at noon.
That works.
thank you. And then that's all I have. If you have anything else, I just wanted to make sure we got that scheduled. Maybe I'll just mention, the notices went out for the 2025 improvements, so, we're getting lots of questions.
Do we expect?
Expected.
Yeah.
Really, really encouraging people to come to the meetings. A community meeting, it'll be informal. The idea is, you know, to be able to have those smaller those conversations with the engineer, you know, Public Works, staff will be there. We are also working on providing estimates for those, individuals that are affected by assessments, so that they can get a rough idea of what that looks like annually on their tax bill.
And would that be at the 30% assessment?
Correct,
Okay.
yep.
And we want council represented as well?
Absolutely, we'll post it as a public meeting.
Yep.
If you can make it, that would be wonderful.
And again, the date.
It is May 29th, 5 to 7, yeah.
I think we'll have a pretty good crowd.
Well, and that's the point of the meeting.
Yeah.
It really is to try to get some of those answers,
Exactly.
because those sessions, like, are meant for, those discussions, so that the meetings, not everything's happening at the meeting.
Right.
That the council can really focus on the public hearing side of it, and then the other action items on the agenda.
Countertops will be going in Friday at the Lions Park.
Oh.
That's all I have.
What was that at the Lions Park?
New countertops
Oh,
in the
yeah,
bathrooms.
yeah, you had mentioned that.
That's great, thanks.
Anything else? Otherwise, looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all four say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
12 minutes.
I think that could have been a record.
Wish they-
Sorry, sir.
Wish they
We
always
weren't on
had
the
one.
agenda, and we've been getting away from.
I was just gonna say something, that if you guys do open the commercial, you could limit how many people you have, so that way you don't have 20 different companies coming to town. That's all I was gonna say. Right. So, which is something you definitely wanna think about, cause, like I said, in the neighborhood, I bet you there's probably 8 haulers. So I'm just saying, if you open it up, you're gonna have 8 companies if you don't limit to the
my email, I got to go through it.
we could have notified these people,
You said,
commercial,
Yep.
commercial
when I
wise,
sent you an email.
this is an
Yeah, I
option.
know.
Apparently
to
just send
have.
it to me,
Or-
or write it
Which
to
is
them,
fine.
bring it to me.
So-
And
Would
that's
you,
why I
would you
sent
go
it
along
to
with the council's
So,
agreement to have one of
yeah,
these?
Monica just
Or
said,
do
no,
we-
sir, I think we
you
should
know,
do this, because if it's already the dollar amount, she said, as long as we have the documentation of why you did it, and then still the chamber, don't go there.
The Princeton.
It is not gonna be
Republic?
subject to the grant anyway, just
So
so
yeah,
it's
structure
there.
by.
That was the state of eleven?
We'll take care of it. And should I just get it to you then?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I would